Hello everyone, this is Sanjay Kumar Raikwar. Today we are going to discuss about how to consume RESTful service using Jersy API with Springboot. So in my last video, we have created RESTful service using Jersy API with Springboot. So we will consume the same service in this video. So let me quickly go through what we have created in my last video. This is my producer application which is working as a service producer which we will consume. So in this we have this employee bean which have all the getters and setters. We have created this employee DAO in which we are maintaining one employee list. We don't have any database and we are performing all the CRUD operation: add, get, delete and update. So every time we are adding up the element, deleting the element, fetching the element from that list only. And by default I have created one employee with ID 101, name Amit. So this is my employee DAO, and as part of the employee resource I have created Q endpoints to fetch all the employees list based on ID, to add the employees, update the employee and delete the employee, in which I'm calling the DAO methods. And this is the Jersy config I have provided, and here I'm registering my employee resource. So we have created all these things in my last video. In this video we will create consumer so that we can consume all those endpoints. So we will see in practical and we will call all those methods. If you need to create any such project, then first you need to create any Spring Boot sample project which I have already created for you. So you can see here, this is my consumer application, Jersy consumer. Let me close these files first. Yeah, after then I have to add the dependency for Jersy. So let me open pom.xml file. So you can see here, this is my pom.xml file. If you'll see, this is the Spring Boot starter parent. So this is the main dependency for Spring Boot project, and I have added this Spring Boot starter Jersy dependency. So for Jersy API I am adding this dependency. After then we need to create the bean class. See, we will get some data from like producer is generating some data, right? We want to consume that data. So based on that bean only we will consume that data. So as I already told you, like we have created endpoint to fetch the employee, to create the employee, to update the employee, to delete the employee. So based on that only, again I need to create one bean on consumer side as well. So I have created this bean, the same bean with ID, name and age, with getter and setter and toString method. After then if required you can create your service classes. Here I am not creating any service class. Then you can create the resource class as well. So here I have created my employee resource. So you can see this is my employee consumer resource, in which based on some URI I'll consume all the services. So if I'll quickly go through with my producer application URI, then let me open it. This is my producer, and inside the producer resource it has path with /employee, and both the application will run on localhost. So and the employee producer is working on 8080 port. So inside the employee consumer I need to pass URI localhost 8080 because my producer is working on 8080, then /employee. Based on this path URI only I'll be able to access employee resource. Now I have to create one instance for the client, because this would be a REST client, and from where it is coming, from the Java WSRS client. So I'm using the same client over here. After then, using client builder, I'm preparing this client, and I'll pass that URI to that client actually. So see, client is prepared. Now what I need to do is I need to call those methods, whatever endpoint I have created in employee resource. I can call those endpoints. How I'll be able to call? So for that I have created few methods. The first method is that, like as we can see here, I have created one endpoint to get employees, right? So in employee resource, then in consumer class, if you need to call that endpoint, how we can call that? We have to pass this URI /all. So the same thing I'm writing here, client.target. What would be the target? My REST URI, whatever I have prepared. After then /all I need to pass. Based on that, it will hit /employee/all. After then I'm getting JSON, so I need to pass the media type as JSON, and this is the get request. You can see here, this is the get request. I want to call that endpoint, so this is the get request. So I need to pass the method name as get, and see, this endpoint is returning list of employees, right? So the same thing I'm taking at here as like list class. So whatever the list I'll get, I'll store in this list, then I'll patch all the employees from that list and I'll print one by one. So this is how this will work. So let me start both the application. First let me start my producer application. So this is my producer application. Let me quickly click on Springboot app. So I need to tell you one more thing. As I already told you, like my producer application is working on 8080 port, so both the application can't work on same port. So here I have changed the port number for consumer application. In application.properties I have written like server.port 8090. Then my consumer application will work on 8090 port. So you can see here application started and it is working on 8090 port. And before starting to this application, like I have to call this method. Someone should need to call this method so that it can hit that URI and it will fetch the list, and so that it can print on the console. So how I'll be able to call that thing? Let me copy one-liner code. Let me open my main application file. So you can see here I have created my one object of employee consumer resource. Now I want to call the same method which is returning get JSON employee. So this method is returning, sorry, this is not the actual method. We need to call get JSON employees. 1 minute. Yeah, this is the method. Yeah, so we are calling this consumer resource dot get JSON employees, which will return list of employees. You can quickly hit here. See, you can see here we are hitting this URI /employee/all, and which is returning the list and which is printing into the console. So let me start this application. As I told you, like my employee producer application has a list of employees. By default I have created one employee in that list, right? So the same list is coming here. the 101 name Amit and age 30. Even if you want to check whether the result is correct or not, then we can hit the postman and we can check the employee resource get all method. So you can see here this postman get localhost 8080 slash employees slash all, the same method we are calling, same endpoint we are calling from our consumer. So let me click on send. So you can see here same data is coming here as well. So means my consumer application is working fine. So we have created few other endpoints if you want to consume those as well. So I have created one more endpoint in my employer resource based on the ID as well. You can fetch the employee. So if you want to consume this endpoint, so what is the difference? Slash employee, then slash, then we have to pass the ID. So the if I'll go to my employee consumer resource, then I have created one method here, get JSON employee. Then see, you can see here I have already created this client. So the same client I'm using, and this is the base URL localhost 8080 slash employee. Then in REST URI, we need to pass. After then in path, as a path variable we were passing that ID, the same ID I am passing here, and application JSON it will return, and what we will get in response, that employee object, the same object I am getting here, and I am printing here the same object. So if you want to test this, then we have to call this method. How will we able to call? We have to open my main application file, and we have to call this. You can see here we are calling the same method, consumer resource dot get JSON employee. Then we are passing that ID. So based on that ID, it will hit that endpoint and it will fetch that employee detail. So if you want to see the result, then we have to restart this application. Let me quickly stop this application. Then let me restart this application. You can see here one employee is coming with ID 101, name Amit and age 30, means this endpoint is working fine. So I'm able to consume that endpoint from employer resource. So I have created few more methods to add the employee, like let me quickly go through here. I have created endpoint in my employer resource that slash add. Right, so the whole URI will be slash employee, then slash add. Then I am passing that employee, whatever I want to add, I can pass that employee. So if you want to call this in my employee consumer, then I have defined one method. You can see here I have already prepared this client. Then the target URI I need to pass let slash add. This is the base URI localhost 8080 slash employee, then slash add I am passing. After then I am here as well media type would be application JSON, and even I am posting one employee object as a part of the JSON. So this is how it will work, and I need to call this method in my main application file. So let me open main application. Here I need to call, so let me quickly remove these methods, and let me quickly copy that code. I have created one employee object, and yeah, you can see here I have created one employee object. I am setting ID 102, name Sanjay, and age 31. So here I am calling that add JSON employee method, which is calling that endpoint to add the employee. So again I have to restart this consumer application. After then only I'll be able to see the result. So let me quickly restart this application. So application is starting now. It is taking some time. Then you will be able to see that record has been added. See, my application has been started. Okay, so if you want to quickly verify that employee has been added or not, then what we can do is we can quickly open Postman, and again we can click on send. You can see here one more record is coming with 102, name Sanjay and age 31, means my this employee record has been successfully added. Even we can delete the records as well. If you want to delete the record, and if you want to update the record, then I have created few more endpoints here. So first I can go through with update endpoint. So you can see here I have created URI like /employee/update. Then I am passing that ID, because without passing that ID I'll not be able to fetch that employee. After then I have to send that thing whatever I want to update. So for that I have created one method in my employee consumer resource to update JSON employee. I'm passing employee object whatever I want to update and that ID. So this URI I'm hitting /update, then ID as a path param I am passing. Then both the things I am doing, in request I am sending JSON and I'll get it in response as JSON, and using put method I am doing. So the updated object I'll get. So let me call this method update JSON employee. So I have written some sample code here. First, yeah, I have to call this method in my main application. So let me paste this code. What I am doing here sorry, I have missed out something. Yeah, so this is the code. Yeah, so this is my employee object I am creating, and I am setting it as 32. For which employee I am setting is as 32, where ID is 101. So as I told you earlier that we have two employees with 101 has age as 30. I am changing it to 32. So let me quickly call this update method. I am passing employee 2, and this is a variable only, so reference variable only. So whatever it is having age 32, and I'm passing ID, so it will check corresponding to that ID, it will update the record. So let me restart this application, consumer application, so that I'll be able to get the result. You can see here I'm getting some response. What I'm getting, this is status 200. Okay, means with update 101. So means my update is successful. Then if you want to quickly verify the result, then earlier I was having age as 30. Let me click on send. Then you can see here age 32 has been updated for record 101. So now one final method is left, that is delete. If you want to delete any employee, so based on ID you can delete that. So for that in my employee resource I have created one method. So for that what URI I was using, slash employee, then slash delete, then I was passing some ID as path param. Based on that ID, this record will be deleted. So for that I have written one method with the REST client and REST URI, localhost 8080 slash employee, whatever I have defined here. Then slash delete, then I'm passing that ID, then media type as JSON, then delete method I'm calling. So I need to call this method, the same method I need to call in my main application file. So let me remove this code and let me quickly call this method. So here I am deleting, sorry, I have removed something more. Yeah, see, so I am calling that consumer resource delete JSON employee. I am passing that ID 102. So you can see here we have two records with ID 101 and 102. I am deleting the employee with ID 102. So let me quickly restart this application again. After then I'll be able to see the result. So you can see here the response with method delete slash employee delete 102, status 200 means success is there. Then if quickly we can check, click on send, we can see only one employee left, then employee with ID 102 has been successfully deleted. So this is how we can consume RESTful service using Jersy API with Spring Boot. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. My channel name is Java Tech Stack.